having inadequate social relationships is as great a risk factor for mortality as smoking. The Surgeon General now is also really talking about social relationships as we've come out of COVID. And we keep the same kind of number across the lifespan in that center circle.
There is a degree of how much I let people into the circle of my health. I always grew up having to carry a drawstring bag with me with my diabetes supplies, and usually people in my close circle would understand, okay, this is Mike, he's bringing his medical supplies with him in case anything were to go wrong with his sugar and management, he would be prepared and safe. Whereas people not so close to my close circle would always have questions, and I was very usually open to answering them and explaining why I need to bolus after meals and such, why I'm taking out my needle and injecting myself.
If you can become comfortable being really honest about the support that you need, that's important, because support is more beneficial if it fits with what you need.
But there definitely are pretty specific, tangible ways to practice communicating clearly and to articulate kind of how you're feeling. Active listening, non-verbally communicating with nods, or verbally with being able to summarize what someone has said to you or trying to reflect on it. I firmly believe in the power of I statements, and so really making it not so much about blaming or placing the emphasis on you're doing something that's bothering me.
The clearer we can be with individuals about what will be helpful is really great.
Sometimes it can be really helpful to provide a compliment sandwich. Starting out a conversation by saying, I appreciate so much of your love and care and attention. The middle part, the meat of the sandwich, may be something like, I need a little bit of space. The other piece of the sandwich would be, you've given me everything I need to be independent.
It's really important to have different layers of friendships and supports available to you. Not only because sometimes the topic looks different, so what I would go to a friend about as a person with diabetes and, relate to a fellow 20-something-year-old, I would maybe not bring that same topic to a parent or family member, or maybe even my care team.
Oftentimes we do feel pressure to be vulnerable and give information about ourselves. And it's okay that falls on a spectrum with different people. You don't have to be vulnerable with everyone you meet, or don't have to be vulnerable right away in relationships.
If I'm trying to draw somebody into my inner circle and I want diabetes to be a part of that, I will anchor that on a diabetes-related appointment in order to share those details in a little bit more of a natural conversational way.
It's interesting to see how, as you grow, things change.
We have heard from young adults that they begin to tell their parents less and less and maybe nothing, because they're afraid that their parents may sort of swoop in and be too involved or too intrusive. Having conversations about, okay, I want to sort of change the level of sharing the data that I've had before, because I'm just not comfortable with you knowing every single detail of my life.
Being away from home, that's been an interesting thing, where obviously my mom loves me a lot, and mama bears are mama bears and they want to fight for their children. But she really worries about my blood sugar dropping low. Still giving me that independence. She doesn't want a helicopter, and make sure she wants me to have that autonomy. And if I want to wake up at 3 a.m. and drink a 12-pack of soda, I can, and it shouldn't alert my mom. But there still needs to be those safety measures taken into place. So I think that the autonomy and the letting me do my own thing, we've had to find different ways to go about that, including apps to alert her when I'm low, but only when I'm low, not when my blood sugar is 121 instead of 120, because she shouldn't be a helicopter parent and I should be able to control myself.
Sometimes it can be a really difficult conversation when you are wanting to move towards independence. You can absolutely honor that discomfort. You're the author of this story. It's okay if it doesn't look identical to maybe another person.
If I am trying to move somebody from my inner circle to maybe a step out, I affectionately call this friend zoning somebody. So you're moving them from one close circle to a little bit farther out circle. It can look like communicating less frequently. It also can be communicating about kind of more surface level topics. So instead of talking about an appointment that you had last week, you could talk about the sandwich that you had for lunch. Or you could say, I'm watching this new TV show, and purposefully have the TV show be kind of light and fluffy or just unrelated to anything diabetes or that you don't want to talk about with this person. And over time, this relationship will just kind of go from a deeper level to a more surface level.
For the most part, people really do care and want to see you thriving and feeling good and healthy. I think that's crucial to allow people into your circle and really build that trust, because it is such a big part of your life. And working as a team, having people there for you really can only help.